Uh, hey buddy, it's me again. Sorry for being so quiet, but as you can see, it's really, really late. It's almost 3:30 in the morning. Anyways, I want to talk to you about some pollings right now. Some pollings that are happening right now by the mainstream media, Fox, NBC, CBS, ABC. Most of the mainstream media are all showing polls that allegedly have Trump trailing Hillary, or quote narrowing her. But in fact, really, these polls are inaccurate. Let me say this: I believe Trump really is leading the polls, but they don't want you to show it. But they don't want you to know that. Here, the fact is, these polls have never been accurate. Or I should say never. But most of the time, these polls have never been accurate. The only actual accurate poll is at the ballot box on election day. And here is proof of how inaccurate these pollings are. I recently came up some polls. I just brought up some polls from recent elections, 2012 and 1980. Let's start with 1980. Reagan versus Carter. As you can see here, in the early months of the campaign, as you can see, December 1979 / January 1980, Reagan had 33%. Carter had 62%. February and March of 1980, Reagan had 31% and 60% for Carter, or 33% Reagan and 58% Carter. As you can see until about 30 April of 1980. As you can see, about April / May or June / July, Reagan was trailing Carter, but then he got up to him after closer to the elections. So, and Reagan won by a landslide. As you can see here, it said Reagan trailed Carter by 15% in February to March of 1980. So, and then here's some things about this article I wanted to read you about, which kind of sounds similar to what's going on with Trump right now. So here you go. This article was written in March of 20th right now, this year. So this is here's quotes from that time. The nation's Republicans are working against the clock to answer two questions. Can conservative Ronald Reagan possibly attract enough independents and Democratic votes to win in November? And if he is likely to lose, has former President Gerald Ford time enough to challenge him? Has former President Gerald Ford time enough to challenge him for the GOP nomination? The consensus among political experts is that this time has probably already run out for Gerald Ford, though he still appears his only choice to beat Jimmy Carter in November. But some experts caution, don't count Ronald Reagan out as a national candidate for the fall. He is not to say a McGovern or Goldwater fringe candidate who led their party to one-sided defeat in 1972 and 1964. Here's the thing I wanted to get here. Intellectuals Intellectuals don't want to take him. Intellectuals don't want to take him seriously, but he does well with working class voters. Those are the same things that are happening with Trump right now. So that's the thing is, the Bush people, the quote intellectuals, don't want to take Trump serious. But you should not. He's gonna be. Trump will win by landslide. I can guarantee that. But let me save that for after this. And I will. The main reason of this video is because I wanted to show you how inaccurate the polls are. Now moving on to the 2012 election. As you can see here, it said. Here we go. As you can see, this it said this article from Newsmax was saying that Romney was leading Obama 52-45, and yet you know how that turned up. So the thing is, these pollings have never or are most often inaccurate pollings here, and even Rush Limbaugh, even I don't exactly know when his show was on, when this aired, but this user posted this July of 2012. So this was during the 2012 election, but Rush Limbaugh was talking about how Carter was leading Trump. Carter 38% to Reagan 32%. Just give him a listen here. I want you to see this or hear this.
Number 800-282-2882. I'm going to get to the phones here in just a second, but before we do, I want to relive, or not relive, I want to remind you of some history. In June of 1980, basically the same period in a campaign where we are now, minus a month or so. In June of 1980, Jimmy Carter led Ronaldus Magnus 39-32. John Anderson, third-party candidate, independent candidate, at 21%. Even into August and into early September, Jimmy Carter was leading Ronaldus Magnus in the polls. Now, what I'm leading up to is that Reagan won that election in a landslide. Jimmy Carter conceded on election night before the polls in California had closed. 1980. The pre-election polls into September did not indicate anything of the sort. In fact, there was not one poll that showed the landslide that happened. Now, a quick question. The Carter presidency was a disaster in June of 1990. It was a disaster in June of 1980. It was a disaster in June of 1979. The Carter presidency was a disaster in June of 1978. The Carter presidency was a disaster for 3 of the 4 years. In truth, the Carter presidency was a disaster from the moment Jimmy was sworn in. It was an utter disaster. And everybody knew it. The misery index was created in order to give life to the devastation. Unemployment was sky high. Interest rates, I confuse interest rates with the inflation rate, but they were both in the teens. Or maybe it was unemployment was in the teens and the inflation was high at 6%, whatever. It was disastrous. Interest rates. People couldn't buy homes. It was an utter disaster. Now, in June of 1990, Carter led Reagan by 7 points. My point to you is, I don't believe any of this rot gut. I don't believe Carter was up by 7 points in June of 1980. I think Carter was destined to lose in a landslide from that entire campaign. I don't think the polls were that wrong. I think people talking to the pollsters were not being that honest, for whatever reason. If there were a disaster, a landslide for
You see?
Carter reflected in the polls, there would have been a massive cover-up for all the polls to lie about it. So I'm not, and I think we've got a carbon copy going on here. I think now we didn't have nearly as many people comfortably unemployed in 1980 as we do now. We didn't have as many people comfortably in economic distress as we do
Alright,
now.
let me say something first. What he's saying was this was in 2012, but there's more people probably unemployed today than in 2012. But he was saying that the polls were not showing the real truth. So, as you can see here, these polls are not showing these current polls between Trump and Clinton are not showing the real truth. Here it says Clinton 48 to 43, but here it says Clinton 50 to Trump 45. These polls are not showing the actual truth. They're rigged for Clinton. They're rigged for Clinton. So let me go back to this polling in 1980. As you can see here, as you can see here it says hold on. As you can see, in the beginning of it, the 1980 in late 1979. In the beginning of the 80s and late 79, Reagan was trailing Carter by 15 points in February to March. And as you can see, the actual result, 50. Well, this one here it says 51 to 41. So, and the fact was, Reagan was an outsider as well. Reagan, even though he was the governor of California at the time, but he was an outsider. He was the one that started a Reagan Revolution, as he called it. And as you can see, the third party too really didn't have. As you can see, Reagan had a third party challenger as well. So technically, the third party person didn't do so well at all, practically. So the third party people need to understand that a vote for anybody but Trump is a vote for Hillary. That is a fact. You will currently, right now, with the two-party system we have right now, there will never be a third-party president until we get rid of the two-party system. Trump is the best choice. Trump is the best choice for getting rid of the two-party system. He's an outsider. So the fact is, and then let's go back to let's go back to here. It says that in 2012, it's in mid. There's two Gallups. There's two polls, two articles. From Newsmax TV, Gallup poll: Romney leads Obama 52 to 45. Mitt Romney extended his lead Sunday over President Barack Obama in a much-discussed Gallup poll that shows the GOP challenger now leading by 7 points, 52 to 45 among likely voters. While most surveys show Obama and Romney locked in a virtual dead heat, Gallup alone finds that the Republicans would by comfortable margin if the elections were held today. This was 2012, October 21st, 1 month before the election. And then here it says this one. This one says that from the Washington Post on October 17th, 2012. Mitt Romney has taken a 6-point lead over President Obama in the latest Gallup national tracking poll, his biggest lead to date and the first time he has led outside the margin of error. The latest 7-day tracking poll of likely voters show Romney at 51% and Obama 55%, up from 50 to 46 on Tuesday and 49 to 47 on Monday. Romney has steadily gained in the Gallup poll in recent weeks, turning what had been a growing deficit in September into a growing lead since his strong first debate performance. So technically, these pollsters were in 2012 were saying that Mitt was leading. Mitt was going to win the election. As it said right here. While most surveys show Obama and Romney locked in a virtual dead heat, Gallup alone finds that the Republican would win a comfortable margin if the elections were held today. That was 2012. And as you can see, as you know, how that election ended up, Obama was reelected. So, as you can see, these pollings are not accurate. Most of the time, they have never been accurate. So as you can see, these pollings here and these polls showing Clinton leading Trump really are not accurate, and we really shouldn't believe these polls. They're just they're just trying to brainwash you or trick you into not voting or just giving up. But the fact is, we need to unite behind Trump because he is the nominee. He is our nominee, the Republican nominee. But as you can see, unfortunately, there are some people, for whatever reason, who are actually, I don't like to use the word hate, but because the word hate is a strong word, but for whatever reason they hate him. For no apparent reason, only because he's an outsider, or because he beat his air quote favorite, Cruz, or Kasich, or Jeb, whoever. The fact is that these people are part of the problem. These people are part of the problem. They claim to be outsiders, like Cruz claimed to be an outsider, yet Cruz really is not an outsider. Excuse me. So the thing is, and here I want to show you again this here. It says here it says the elites also worried about Reagan's chances back in March 1980. This is an article. This is an article from the Christian Monitor in March 1980. It's oh, I'll read you. It says the nation's Republicans are working against the clock to answer two key questions: can conservative Ronald Reagan possibly attract enough independent and Democratic votes to win in November? And in fact, and if he is likely to lose, has former President George Ford time enough to challenge him for the GOP nomination? This consensus among political experts is the time that has probably already run out for Gerald Ford, though he still appears the stronger choice to beat Jimmy Carter in November. Remember, Carter beat Gerald Ford in the '76 election, so 4 years before '80. So so they wanted Gerald Ford rather than Reagan, just like Never Trump people wanted Cruz instead of Trump. But the fact is, Reagan and Trump were outsiders. They were exposing the establishment. That's the thing that the establishment people did not like. It says here, but some experts caution don't count Ronald Reagan as national candidate for the fall. He is not, they say, a McGovern or Goldwater French candidate who led their parties to one-sided defeats in 1962 and 1964 intellectuals. It says intellectuals don't want to take him seriously, which that rings true today with Trump. Intellectuals do not want to take Trump seriously, but they should, because he is an outsider. That's the whole reason why they don't take him seriously, because he's an outsider. But here it says Reagan, talking about Reagan. But here it says, but he does well with working class voters. Trump is doing well with working class voters, but yet the intellectuals like Bush, Kasich, Cruz, Mitt, Paul Ryan, and all the Never Trump leaders really don't take him seriously as they were actually able to be allowed. As you can see, I want to show one. I want to show you a Hillary Clinton ad that really shows you these people are not Republicans. Clinton ads Republicans. I want to show you this one ad here. I am no fan of Hillary, and I do not want to give her any attention. This is the point what I want to show you. This ad. this ad showing these Never Trump peoples do not take Trump seriously because they've actually endorsed Clinton rather than him. Hold on a sec, let me... Alright, okay, as I said before, I do not want to give him any attention, but I'm showing you this ad to prove a point. Before I show you this ad, I want you to see this article. Read this article again here. It says, this is from March 5th of 1980, talking about how Reagan was trolling Carter. And it, quote, and the intellectuals, the establishment did not take Reagan seriously, but the working people did. And as you can see here, these intellectuals here do not take Trump seriously. Listen to this. Well, listen.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message. He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot. Donald Trump is a phony, a fraud.
He's not a serious adult. I can't vote for Donald Trump, given the things that he said. Trump should not be supported. I believe he's disqualified himself to be president.
I just cannot support Donald Trump.
So, as you can see, these, quote, and Mitt Romney is the last. Mitt Romney is the last to call Trump a phony, because here the fact is, Trump endorsed Romney in 2012. I want to show you this again. Mitt is a hypocrite. Listen to this. Trump endorsed Romney. Now listen to him. Here, now listen to...
Well, thank you very much. It's a great honor for me. As everybody in this room knows, our country is in serious trouble.
Alright, hold on, I wanted to show you this. Hold on, after... Hold on.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great honor for me. As everybody in this room knows,
Alright, so this is Trump endorsing Mitt in 2012. So listen to what Trump says in 2012 about Mitt. Then I'll show you what Mitt actually thanks Trump for his endorsement.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great honor for me. As everybody in this room knows, our country is in serious trouble. Whether it's OPEC, the OPEC nations, or China, or virtually anybody that we do business with throughout the world, they take advantage of us, they laugh at us, they can't believe their good fortunes. I deal with these people, and they can't believe what they get away with. So, we really have an opportunity to do something great for the country. And just a little while ago, I didn't even mention this, but the CBO chief in Washington announced that unemployment is going up to 9.2% by sometime in January. So it's going to go up. And the growth rate is going to be at about 1%. So it's just even out. Not good news. It's my honor, real honor, and privilege to endorse Mitt Romney. I've gotten And by the way, this is a great company. You look at this now. But Mitt is tough. He's smart. He's sharp. He's not going to allow bad things to continue to happen to this country. So, Governor Romney, go out and get him. You can do it.
There are some things you just can't imagine happening in your life. This is one of them. Being at Donald Trump's magnificent hotel and having his endorsement is a delight. I'm so honored to have his endorsement.
Okay, I'm gonna rewind this when Mitt comes back up again, or when Mitt comes up, because I want to show you. I want to. Hold on. Give me. Not here. I'm gonna get to where Mitt comes up. Here we go. Come on. Alright. Listen to what Mitt says.
There are some things that you just can't imagine happening in your life. This is one of them. Being at Donald Trump's magnificent hotel and having his endorsement is a delight. I'm so honored and pleased to have his endorsement. And of course, I'm looking for the endorsement of the people of Nevada. And has shown extraordinary humility to understand how our country works, to create jobs for the American people. He's done it here in Nevada. He's done it across the country. He understands that our economy is facing threats from abroad. He's one of the few people who stood up and said, you know what, China has been cheating. They've taken jobs from Americans. They haven't played fair. We have to have a president who will stand up to cheaters. We believe in free trade and free enterprise, but we don't believe in allowing people to cheat day in and day out. And I'm going to work very, very hard to make sure that people in this country have a brighter future than that's being projected by the CBO. Their analysis of what's going to happen in the future of America is driven by the policies they're seeing from a president who's failing. He's frequently telling us that he did not cause the recession, and that's true. But he made it worse. And he made the recovery long and tepid. The people here in Nevada are suffering. There's so many different opportunities on the wall. It's extraordinary. And Nevada leads the nation in a very negative way, which is if you look at foreclosures in the last 90 days, Nevada is number one in the nation. And this is a very tough time for the people of Nevada.
2012.
Everything in my power to get this economy going again.
I'll send this to the end. I'll send what I want to see to the end.
We come here for tourism, so we can have the American people have rising incomes again, so we can make sure that America stands strong around the world. We have a president who may be a nice guy, but he is way over his head. He does not understand what it takes to get America working again, and I do. I spent my life in the private sector, not quite as successful as this guy, but successful nonetheless, sufficiently successful to understand what it takes to get America to be the most attractive place in the world for innovators, entrepreneurs, and business, and job creators. I want America to be the place people want to come and grow. And I will use all of my energy to get America working again, to help the people of this country have rising incomes, good jobs, and homes that are worth something. So I want to say thank you to Donald Trump for his endorsement. It means a great deal to me to have the endorsement of Mr. Trump and people across this country who care about the future of America. I think it's time for us to recognize we can't continue down the road we're on. We have to dramatically change course. We have to restructure the way government interacts with people. Our government's too big, it's too intrusive, it's placed too great burdens on our people in this country. I will dramatically change the way this government is working. And I'll also stand up for our friends abroad and make sure that America remains the shining city on the hill. Thank you so much for your help and your endorsement today, and look forward to seeing you out on the trail. Thank you, Donald.
Alright. As you can see in 2012, Mitt was praising Trump. Praising Trump. Now listen to this hypocrite here uh, in this Hillary ad. I'm gonna get to where she shows Mitt talking about Trump. Mitt, in this ad, Mitt calls Trump a phony, yet he was praising him in 2012.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve.
Hold on, let me.
This message. He's a race-baited, xenophobic, religious bigot.
Donald Trump is a phony.
There we go, listen again.
Fraud.
Phobic, religious bigot.
Donald Trump is a phony. A fraud.
Xenophobic, religious bigot.
Donald Trump is a phony. A fraud.
Xenophobic, religious bigot.
Donald Trump is a phony. A fraud.
Alright. The one who the phony is Mitt. He's a hypocrite. He praised Trump, and he praised Trump in 2012 when Trump endorsed him. Yet he backstabs him by endorsing his opponent, the Democratic one. Mitt is the fraud. Mitt is the phony, not Trump. The reason why Mitt calls Trump a phony or fraud is because Mitt is part of the establishment. He does not want the establishment's power to be broken. He wants to keep the power. So the fact is, he's the fraud, he's the phony, he's the faker, not Trump. Trump is the real guy. Trump is the real person. Trump wants what's best for this country, just like Reagan did. Just like Reagan did. And just like Reagan won by landslide, Trump will win by landslide. The polling that I showed you earlier, this polling that I showed you earlier, it really has no bearing on what the actual outcome is going to be. Trump will win by a landslide, just like Reagan won by a landslide. As this is in my previous video, yes, Trump may not be a Reagan conservative. I believe Trump is more of a Ford. I believe Trump is more of a Ford, and as I said in my last video, the Trump presidency is just to stop to straighten things out a little bit. And I can guarantee you the next Reagan will come after Trump, whether it be in 2020 or 2024. But we need to unite behind Trump to beat Hillary. We cannot let Hillary win the election. So that's the thing is, if you think it's been bad the last 8 years with Obama as president, it will be even worse with Clinton. Think about the Supreme Court. Trump says he will appoint conservative justices like Scalia, but Hillary will appoint liberal justices, and these these appointments are for life. I they until they resign, die, or get scandal or get caught up in some scandal. But these appointments, the Supreme Court appointments, are for life. So that's the thing you need to remember. Uh, these Donald Trump people who are so who has hatred for Trump for no apparent reason, only because only because he uh, beat their candidates, beat their quote favorite candidates. And the fact is, these people don't want a true outsider. As I said previously as I said in my previous video, Trump is the best outsider because he came from the inside. He knows every tricks and schemes in the book. He knows every tricks and schemes in the book. He's even said he will get rid of the he will get rid of those tricks. He will get rid of them because he knows them. He even admitted using them. That's the that's honest. That's the honest. That's a person who is honest. He is honest. He is honest to a point where some people don't like it because they can't take the truth. That is the thing. Sometimes the truth is hard, or most of the time, the truth is harder to take than a lie. So, the truth isn't always peachy key. So that's the thing is, not everything is peachy key in the world. And with how the world is going, we need a strong leadership. We need strong leadership. We've already had weak leadership for the last 8 years. Obama has been leading us from behind. We need to be leading from the front. We need strength. We need power. We need to strengthen our military, not weaken it. We need to show our allies we are ready to defend our country and our allies. We need to show our enemies that they need to fear us instead of us fearing them. So that's the thing is, we need strong leadership. We need a person who has an we need an actual CEO as president. It's time for actual CEO to take I wrote an article before. I'm trying to remember what I wrote here. I'm gonna, hold on a sec. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back now. I wrote an article called Time to Declare Independence from the Political Elites. Here it says, we need independence from the political elites. Trump is the only one that will give us the independence. For too long, we have been slaves of the political elites who only care about their pocketbooks and special interest groups, both in the Republican Party and Democratic Party. We need to get rid of the status quo, and and Trump is that man that will get the things done. We don't need more crony capitalism. We need true capitalism. We need limited government. We need lower taxes. We need someone who has actually balanced the budget. It's time for an actual CEO to take the reign and steer the ship to solid new land of prosperity, a land where we are once again governed by we the people. That was what I was trying to say again. It's time for an actual CEO to take the reign and steer the ship to solid new land of prosperity, where we are once again governed by the people, not career politicians. We don't need more crony capitalism. We need more true capitalism. We need more free market. That's the thing we need, and especially we need to focus. If you can't vote for Trump, vote for the party platform. And if you can't vote for him, vote for the fact that he has said he will be appointing conservative justices, conservative Supreme Court justices. That is a fact. He has promised us that. Hillary will be appointing liberal justices who will rewrite the Constitution. Not literally, but they will rewrite what it means. The conservative justices that Trump will appoint will follow the Constitution to the core. That is the point, what we need to understand, what you need to understand. Trump may not be perfect. No politician is going to be perfect. No one is going to be perfect. The only human being, the only human person, the only person who will ever be perfect is Jesus Christ himself, who is fully human and fully God. That is the only person who will ever fully be perfect. No human being will ever be perfect. No man can be perfect. Even if you have God in yourself, even if you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you yourself aren't perfect. You were born a sinner. That is a fact. Trump's born a sinner. Cruz is born a sinner. Hillary's born a sinner. You, me, every one of us are all born sinners. There will never be a politician who is perfect. Because we can never be perfect on our own. So, if you can't vote for Trump, vote for the party platform. That is a fact. That is what we need to unite behind Trump. So we can beat Hillary. And the fact is, the Never Trump people the third party people who are voting for third party candidates like Johnson and Stain don't realize their votes will be going to Hillary. That's a fact. Their votes will be going to Hillary. Even with the third party candidate, Trump will still, even with third party candidates like Johnson and Stain, Trump will win by a landslide. I can guarantee you that. As I showed you previously, in the polling from 1980, Reagan versus Carter, in the early stages of the campaign, Reagan was trolling Carter, but yet he won by a landslide. So, I would suggest these people to get. I would suggest these people to get off your high horse and stop your tantrum and get up and vote for Trump. If you can't vote for Trump, vote for the party. Vote for the party platform. Conservative, limited government, lower taxes. Those are conservative values. Those are Republican values. Vote Trump for 2016. Or if you can't vote for Trump, vote for Pence. Vote for Pence. That's a VP nominee. Which is, you're voting for Trump, but you're voting for Pence. I did that in 2008 with I didn't like McCain, so I voted McCain because of his VP nominee, not because himself. We can't vote for the top of the ticket. Vote for vote Trump, even if you're just voting for Pence. That's the thing. There's I voted for McCain. I voted for McCain only because his choice of VP. That was what got me voting for him. So if you can't vote for Trump, just vote for Pence. Simple as a fact. Anyways, we need to unite behind Trump. We need to unite behind Trump. We need to beat Hillary. We cannot let Hillary be a third or fourth term Obama term. That's what will happen if Hillary Clinton is elected. We do not need another Clinton in the White House. We do not need Clinton in the White House. That's a fact. See, I would tell everybody to please vote for Trump. Or if you can't bear to vote for Trump, then please vote for Pence. So, simple as that. Vote for Pence. Vote for Trump even if you're only voting for Pence. That's the thing you guys need to do. We can't let Hillary be elected. Thank you. And God bless.